its newspaper review segments, and we will go straight into what some of the select newspapers this morning are offering us on their front page. And by the way, with the Daily Trust, there's a very important message here, which is the happy Eid-el-Fitr to our readers and advertisers. Advertisers, with emphasis, you are the reasons why we continue to come out.
Put advertisers first before the readers.
No, our readers are important, but those who make this possible are also very important. At any rate, they come from our readers. I don't want to get into that trap. Okay. The major story on the front page of Daily Trust this morning: Eid-el-Fitr, Tinubu tax citizens on unity, nation building. I beg to say, I noticed a major difference from this message this time. It's not about the usual "I feel your pain." I think he too is getting tired of putting out that narrative. But this is good. National Assembly leadership, governors preach love, sacrifice. I wish they added integrity and embrace moral rectitude. Khan tells leaders, and you'll find a picture there that tells you 1,000 stories. On previous Salah celebration, these places would have been besieged with a lot of people wanting to take the opportunity of these extra public holidays to meet up with families, catch a glimpse of loved ones and aged parents in various locations in Nigeria. But this time, it's neither there and neither here nor there. Just very few people who can afford it probably are the ones who traveled this period. 400 bodies recovered from Gaza hospital after Israeli troops withdrawal. Well, and Plateau Assembly crisis uncertainty over faith of 7 APC lawmakers. Article to Tinubu, disclosed cost of Lagos-Calabar highway project. And Super Falcons, interestingly, qualifies for 2024 Olympics after 16 years. It's good to see these guys back on the international stage. But the groupings is not something that leaves so much to be desired. I see that we are paired with Japan, with Mexico, and Spain. These are football power nations when it comes to female football. In the world.
Spain, obviously, champions, world champions.
That's right.
But I have faith in our women that they're probably going to give a good showing.
They seem to be on the rise in terms of development. We hope this is the spirit of that team is not disoriented. Rainstorm renders over 1,000 homeless in Kogi, and veteran Kennywood actress Daso dies at 56. It was a painful one yesterday when that news filtered in. And bribery allegation, Ganduje, wife, son for arraignment on April the 17th. That's it on the front page of the Daily Trust.
The Guardian is up next, so let's take a look at the front page of the Guardian newspaper for today. Quite a very busy front page there. Is that from Gaza or from the Lagos market fire?
I think that's from Lagos.
That's definitely from Lagos. Let's start from the very top. 2017 botched water resources bill. 179 million Nigerians in dire straits lack access to potable water nationwide. And that picture tells quite a grim story from that tragedy in the Lagos fire. 4 complexes collapsed so far as people continue to assess the level of damage and loss as a result of that unfortunate inferno. We regret voting Tinubu in 2023, according to northern leaders. You know what? I'm conflicted about this particular position on this one because, it's just one too many opinions about the performance of the administration that is not even 1 year old. But this is the position of the northern elders that has become public knowledge now. Page 3 has details about why they regret voting Tinubu. Cost of trade 5 times higher in Nigeria than US, says World Bank. In its latest report, it projects a slight drop in the inflation figures. So that and some other indices are perhaps good indicators that things might stabilize in a couple of months' time before the year runs out. More queries, protests against Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project despite defense. TS has fired God's popular Dosumo market twice in 30 days. 2027, ADC calls for coalition to save Nigeria. You can't sack Abure. NWC members party, Labour Party tells NLC. Tackling inadequate, overcrowded hostel facilities, universities. This is an editorial piece, I believe, on The Guardian. And finally, NCDC begins probe into unknown disease in Sokoto State. Yes, some 120 something or thereabout cases have been confirmed, and the NCDC has sent a dispatch of a team to look into that development. Hopefully, it will not lead to a public health, epidemic or something like that. But we'll wait to hear from the findings. Now, let's get right into the analysis this morning with our Mr. Wednesday. The one and only Mr. Ben Sherman is here with us this lovely, beautiful Wednesday morning. Barakat Salah, Mr. Ben. Good to see you again.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
You know, when he bears this his trademark cap, you know something positive is in the offing.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know to connect the dots, but
I'm not sure who has invited you for a Salah outing.
Oh,
I remember Abdullah mentioned the last time that whenever you go to the man who gave you this red cap, you should endeavor to
don't forget about us.
And our message. We'll not mention him.
I hope you are invited.
The man is in Maiduguri now.
No, we didn't.
Okay, now you're narrowing it down. Now you're narrowing it down.
One day it will come out.
Right, okay. Let's start on that particular note. The message from the president is unity, nation building. Do you think this is going to resonate? Because most people are unable to travel back home to celebrate the fanfare. Most people would even probably not feel the positivity that usually comes with celebrations like this because of the current economic climate.
Yeah, I like this headline. Tinubu tasks citizens on unity, nation building. I saw that some people interpreted it on a very light, very at the surface. They said, okay, we are ready for this nation, for building this nation, but we can't see the cement. We can't see the blocks. We can't see the iron rods, so to speak. Now, that is physically. But you see, when it comes to the person, the persona, what should people do? If there is that unity, of course, you see that the nation will be better off. And I want to pay small glowing tribute to one Uche, then Kabiru. Kabiru from Katsina. Uche, I don't know the state, maybe Imo. When we had this Bacha market around, we say, post office, Kabiru dealt with, was selling in electronical material, radio, bulbs, and all
Kabiru
that.
Or Uche?
Kabiru. Then Uche was dealing with clothes, shoes, and all that. Now, each knew the price of every item. So, if you went to buy items from Uche, and he was not there, Kabir knew this. What it would take to buy a suit or shoes. He knew the prices. He would sell for Uche. And the same way, I knew that because my house was just very close by. They're in Zone 3. So I could stay and chat with them. These are the people we're talking about when we say nation building. Unlike the politicians who are busy calling us to engage in nation
building. The politicians building, are more united.
I think the politicians are more united when it comes to figures that will enter pockets. But when you're talking of the real life, when the politician is trying to give you some palliatives, he's looking at his votes next election. But when you look at the market, the communality of life in the market, you see, the idea is, look, they want a better market, they want a better outing, they want better humanity, without looking at what will happen tomorrow. But the politicians is already calculating his next election. If I don't do this, I won't get this. If I don't wish the Muslims a very happy Eid Kabir, I know I won't reach there, so to speak. It's not so. Look, show us love. Bring these things and let us move forward. When we're having electricity, we can't pay. We're talking about water, we can't get. The roads are bad and all that. You must. The moment you want to start your journey, of course, you begin to count. Is the road safe? The bandits are there. Are the roads good? Potholes are there. And the road safety corps will be asking you for roadworthiness of your car. You see a nice car, but the road is not worthy for that car. You are troubling the car owner. I think it's
interesting.
It's not the best.
All right, and away from the president's message on the day of on a day like this, we move over to Kogi State, where the papers are reporting this morning the rainstorms have destroyed over 1,000 homes. At a time when people in Kaduna, in Niger, and even Abuja are complaining about the heat waves coming back again and becoming even more intense. Some people are blessed with the rain, but rather than bring blessing in a way, it leaves them with devastation.
Honestly, that's the ways of nature. The moment nature comes, people, some will smile, some will, of course, weep. We're talking of Salah celebrations where some people are supposed to be in their best attires, go praise God, thank Him for life and all that, what you've attained so far. But today they are weeping. So this is where the state government will have to come in again. You have to provide some succor by way of food, by way of building materials. Quite a lot of things will go in. So state emergency response teams will have to be there. And if it's not done quick enough, more rains will come, and you now begin to see people dispersing to where they ought not to be. They begin to squat in their own country called Nigeria. So this is where the politicians should go and show that human being with the milk that that kindness that flows with the milk of human kindness. Let us begin to see that in them, because they certainly will need some help, either from the federal emergency agencies or the state agencies. Then individual organizations, the religious organizations at the point to the help, either by way of providing some psychological management, psychological trauma management, or sometimes they even give materials, some assistance here and there. So it is. It's not just only in Kogi. It's happening in many other places.
And it's quite devastating, especially since this is just the onset of the rainy season. So you expect some of these developments to more than double in the few months to come. But in talking about the situation in the country right now, the World Bank is talking about a slight drop in our inflation figures. They're talking about some 28. Is it 24? Coming down as
coming from 31.
Yeah, from 31. Yeah. So clearly there are some signs there that it will eventually come down a little bit. I mean, the 2-3% decrease may not seem like much, but it does actually count. Where do you stand with some of these projections as far as the outlook of the economy is concerned?
You see, the outlook of the economy, you look at the Naira today. The point I was discussing with the chairman of Bureau de Change, Ibrahim Doram, and some other economists. Yes, the Naira is gaining some strength, but you just see that some economists, I spoke with one Emmanuel Gandu Kagoro, who said, look, if you keep on sinking in money, I mean dollars to intervene and make the Naira value rise, it's not really the best at the point. What are we doing economically? What are we doing in terms of gross domestic product? What is our farming rate? How many industries are working? Is the electricity being supplied? You know, do you have a security provided to ensure that farmers can farm? And if you do all of this, can you harvest? Do you have post-harvest losses? How do you manage all of this? When at the point you're hearing around Katsina that some people are trying to invade grain silos, some said they wanted to burn them or something like that. It's not the best of times. But even the World Bank itself and the IMF, sometimes you look at the conditionalities, they tend to give us some tablets that make us so drunk and we cannot just get it right. Their conditionalities are so... Look, when you say, okay, open your markets, we open the market for what? What's our market? They're coming to take our raw materials. We can't say no. They take them and go and sustain their industries abroad. Now they finish that and just come and give us finished products. By the time you now want to say local industry, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, who want to say this is what we are doing, they cannot compete with the raw materials that the developed world got from Nigeria, and helped by employing their people abroad. And you now bring in the very cheap kind of end product or products you finished. They can't compete here. The electricity is just not okay. And by the time you now look at even agriculture, cashew, for example, mango, for example, yam, you want to export. They say, no, ours has too much fertilizer. Ours has too much kinds of ingredients to the extent that they don't meet world standard in terms of packaging, in terms of even farming, the care itself. At the point they tag our yam, rotten yam, before they go to Lagos. How long is it from here to London? How long is it to fly from here to London? You know, so it's all an attempt to always make us be down there and they're up there. We must be import dependent, and that's why sometimes when you see the young guys around Senegal, they begin to say, France, look, enough is enough. We are in charge now. We have to determine
I hear that time is up, but I will give you 20 seconds to quickly put out your perspective on this 400 body recovered from Gaza hospital after Israeli troops withdrawal. What's your thoughts, you know, as your final statement with regards to what's going on?
No, I think, you see, human rights are universal. The moment they said this is alive, once a baby is conceived by the mother, it has human rights. So it does not matter religion, it does not matter, tribe, creed, race, and all that. It's wrong as in wrong. You go to a hospital. If you look at Geneva Convention, someone runs to a hospital, he's supposed to be safe. Someone runs to a shrine or church or mosque, he's supposed to be safe. Someone who has surrendered and raised his hands up, or is waving a white handkerchief, he has surrendered. You don't need to hammer those people. Even the injured that you've seen, it's for you because you've already have that. You have that advantage over him who is already down. It's for you to give him to the ICRC, International Red Cross, or the Red Crescent, so that he's giving humanity. So a situation where we find in hospital some 400 bodies, I think it's a case of human rights that is not the right way.
Okay. On that note, I want to thank you very much for finding time to be here. Barka da Sallah. I wouldn't say I was expecting anything from you. I think we are all expecting everything.
We expect from Abdullahi.
Mr. Ben, I like the fact that you are reinforcing that message at the close of this business. All right, it's the much we can bring to you today. I'm not giving room for Abdullahi. Well, he will have his time, but to concretize his excuse, we are speaking to him as a euphemism for all of those who are behind the camera who are supposed to host us today. I came up with my bobolishe. I had to clean my stomach for all that I'm expecting today. Barka da Sallah to all of you. I wish you a very delightful and peaceful celebration today and for the remaining days of the public holiday. I'm Sunday Michael Ogu. We'll do this again tomorrow.
You know, the beauty is that you get the last say and you get the last shot, and he doesn't even get to reply. I'm first of all disappointed that Mr. Beshawn didn't say anything about the Barbariga that Sunday is wearing, which is quite conspicuous in the first place, looking like a minister and all that in our studio today.
Since my name has been called,
but then again,
I have to, Sunday, we have to know why you have decided
maybe you're off
an expectation.
Exactly.
So Abdullah, don't fail.
So the conversation continues. But then again, Barka da Sallah, Nigerians, thank you most kindly for joining us. Daybreak will be back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. on Trust TV. Until then, good morning.